6 politicians who have stolen the most money in history. 1. Ferdinand Marcos stole $10 billion from the Philippines. Philippines Prosperity Ranking, 84 out of 167. The Philippines were controlled by Ferdinand Marcos for 21 years. He established fictional businesses with his wife, Imelda. Marcos imposed martial rule in 1972. It lasted 9 years and was a trying time for the nation. Numerous thousands of people were detained and killed. Marcos used it to take over the nation's industries. For $220, he purchased the national electricity business. In every sector, Marcos held a dominant position. Everything was his, from casinos to TV, from logging to smokes. Since Marcos is a lawyer, everything was entirely legal. He wrote the laws himself. After a rebellion in 1986, Marcos and Imelda left the Philippines. Nobody has discovered the money because they took it with them. 2. Zine El Abidin Ben Ali stole $13 billion from Tunisia. Tunisia Prosperity Ranking, 99 out of 167. Ben Ali and his wife Layla Trabelsi bled Tunisia dry. They granted themselves ownership shares in all of its main enterprises. The pair owned banks, airlines, auto dealerships, radio and television stations, as well as ISPs. On top of everything else, they also earned kickbacks. Frozen yogurt was flown in from France for Ben Ali's kid. It was flown there on a private plane. The authorities left Tunisia following the 2011 Jasmine Revolution. Layla took 1.5 tons of gold out of the government's vault before she left. They settled in Saudi Arabia. Following the issuance of an arrest order by Interpol, Ben Ali had a massive stroke. 3. Suharto stole $35 billion from Indonesia. The New Order era under Suharto helped the economy. Unprecedented growth was really experienced in Indonesia. Suharto, though, was a military leader. To amass fortune, he utilized his uncontrolled authority. In the end, Suharto sold China the infrastructure of Indonesia. Chinese-owned businesses continue to have an impact on the overall economy. The Asian financial crisis had a severe impact on Indonesia. Suharto resigned, but it was decided that he was too ill to stand trial. He died in peace. 4. Viktor Yanukovych stole $40 billion from Ukraine. Ukraine Prosperity Ranking, 74 out of 167. The presidential term in Ukraine is of 5 years. Only 4 were finished by Yanukovych before he was overthrown. But in that little period, he broke a record for corruption. He established a network of fictitious businesses to launder money. Various offshore corporations received billions that were diverted. The president resided in an old palace that was 137 acres in size and had a private zoo. Yanukovych fled to Russia in 2014 after a wave of popular protests. Only about $1.5 billion of the money has been recovered. 5. Hosni Mubarak stole $70 billion from Egypt. Egypt Prosperity Ranking, 121 out of 167. Even before becoming president, Mubarak benefited financially from military contracts. But he also gained authority after taking the job. He made significant investments in land and real estate projects. The family of Mubarak had property in LA, London, Switzerland, and other places. Mubarak's assets were mostly frozen. He was detained and given a life sentence in 2012. He was exonerated a few years later. Mubarak passed away at age 91 and had an opulent state burial. Since then, all of the assets have been defrosted. The money was never given back to Egypt. 6. Muammar Gaddafi stole $200 billion from Libya. Libya Prosperity Ranking, 146 out of 167. One of the biggest oil reservoirs is in Libya. However, the majority of Libyans were in utter poverty. The oil riches were utilized to finance the opulent lifestyle of one family. The family, of course, were the Gaddafis. For Muammar and his family, 2 gated resorts near Tripoli were constructed. They were made up of magnificent infrastructure and opulent beach mansions. The Gaddafis held assets valued close to $500 million. In 2011, Muammar Gaddafi was assassinated after a popular revolt. However, the majority of the funds haven't been found.